This is Wendy Daniels with Revolutionary PE, and this is Holiday Games. All right, we are playing Catch the Turkey today. And when students are lined up, we usually have 12 teams, and they're lined up on the east side of the gym behind their color dot. And then I would call for a color team that was sitting there the best. So, I'm looking at blue team. Blue team, will you please go to the mat? You're gonna be the hunter. So they would go behind a mat. We set up the mats so they're here on each side of the gym, and they are behind the red line. So you have these mats with 6 balls on each mat. And then I would call another color team that was sitting there nicely, and I would say, okay, every good hunter needs a good retriever, their hunting dog. So will you please, orange team, can you go be their retriever? So the retriever goes and finds a partner and stands in front of the mat. So they go and stand in front of a mat, and now a retriever has to go get the ball when the hunter is getting it. So what's happening is everyone else would be a turkey. So if I'm your turkey and I number off the turkeys, so if I'm a number 1, I would call as a teacher, 1's go, and we're skipping. So I'm skipping and I'm avoiding the ball. When I get hit, I have to sit down. And now I'm out, so then I'm just careful. Because we have limited people today, I'm gonna call 2 of the back to be able to be our turkeys. A hunter is throwing, we have to have a retriever that's getting the ball. And then you number off your team. So if you're at the first of your line, raise your hand, you're a 1. Next person, raise your hand, you'd be a 2. Next person would be a 3, next person would be a 4, and so on. So you don't have too many turkeys going across the floor at one time. So you're the retriever for us. So thank you. Look how that retriever went and got you a ball. And do retrievers have to crawl like a dog? No, that would be uncomfortable. You just want to quickly get your hunter a ball. Okay, so ready? We would start with the music. And everyone is going to be galloping this time. So you gallop across the floor. So ready? 1's go. 2's go. 3's go. 4's go. All right, when they made it, they sit behind their dot. We count how many turkeys are down on the floor. So if we had 3 turkeys on the ground, we would say, turkeys, clear the floor and go back to your line. And they would sit behind these students. So now we say, hunters and retrievers reload. So they gather, they should have 6 balls back on their mat. So they look around, both of them are looking and trying to find them. If they find extra, we always say, please throw them into the center circle. So if there's 1 in the center circle, then they're able to put it down back. Now turkeys, when you're on the floor, you can't throw the ball, okay? This time, you are going to be skipping turkeys. And we need the hunter and retriever to switch places. So now we have a new hunter and a retriever. And this time you're headed back to your dot on the other side, skipping this time. Ready? 1's go. 2's go. 3's go. 4's go. Like I was hit by a ball, then I have to sit down and I'm the turkey. And when they say clear the floor, I can clear the floor and go back behind my line. When they reload, we say, please go back to your line. And we're looking to see who is sitting the quietest that I could call next. to be the next team to be the hunter. So what happens is when the music starts, you have 2 players on each side. You have a lacrosse net here, a target for the students, and a scoreboard. And you could use any kind of balls. Right now we just had these out. In lacrosse, we pick up the stick. There are everyone on this side, we have maybe 15 to 20 players on this side and 20 on the other. They're competing against each other, but there are only 2 lacrosse sticks. So 2 of them come to the center circle together, and they scoop up a ball. So they have to bend their knees, scoop, and then they come up to the target. They may have to take turns shooting at the turkey, but they stay behind the line and see how their hand slides up and they throw. If it slips off the back because they put the stick too far back, they would scoop it up again, and then they would take another shot. If they get a point, they put their point up on the scoreboard, and then after they put up their point, they hand it to the next 2 people in line who would shoot. And they go to the end of the line, and the line keeps progressing up. So you can have really large classes. We do 2 turkeys at this end and 2 turkeys at the other end. And we remind them that when you're shooting, Rebecca, can you take one hand and, yes, slide it up to the middle. So scoop, and now see where your hand is. Good. Use that, and that is much better. Great job. Awesome. Put up their point, and then go back to the line. The line keeps moving up, and they would just go to the next person. First come in, they're walking the track, and when the music starts, they begin jogging. On the day that we have the Grinch in here, the Grinch does the warm-up with them. Oh, Mr. Grinch, you pick up the cone. We don't do that. Don't break the rules. So the kids laugh because the Grinch breaks all the rules and causes problems. All right, so we're walking the track. When the music starts, we're jogging. Mr. Grinch, that's dangerous. Please don't bring the balls onto the court. Okay? All right. Jog when you hear the music. No, Mr. Grinch, leave the lost and found alone. Oh, we don't cut inside. You have to stay outside the cones. Mr. Grinch, you have to follow the rules. I thought we talked about this, or you're going to have to leave. We have a special game about you today. And now we're walking, but we still stay on the track. No, Mr. Grinch, don't touch the dots. Those are dirty. Please follow the rules. Can you guys please help me with the Grinch? Maybe he'll listen to you. All right, come on. Oh, Mr. Grinch, that's not kind. What did Cindy Lou talk to you about? I'm sorry, you're going to have to leave the track. Mr. Grinch, please go to the penalty box and do your exercises. Mr. Grinch, come on, come over here. Go to our penalty box, please, and pull the exercises and do your exercises. Thank you. This is the Grinch game. In the Grinch game, we have usually 12 dots set up on this end of the gym with 12 hula hoops and 12 scooters. And then we have the Grinches that are in the middle that are on the green scooters. So I look to find a team that I feel is ready to start and listening to directions. How about you, blue team? Will you go be the Grinches first? So they go and they sit on the scooters in the center of the gym. So usually we have 6 or 7 to a team.
But and we always leave the wheels up on our scooters for safety. The Grinches cannot cross this line, and the object of the game is for these Whoville people to get across the gym without being tagged by a Grinch and make it to the Whoville store. The Grinches cannot go in the Whoville store. In the store, we have presents, our bean bags, and we have Hanukkah candles, which are our pool noodles. So they have a choice of getting either. They take it and they have to make it back across the center line without being tagged by the Grinches. If the Grinch tags them, they get to steal the present or the Hanukkah noodle, and they leave it here in the center circle. If they get more presents or Hanukkah candles before the Whoville people, then the Grinches win and they stole Christmas. Or Hanukkah, I guess, right? All right, over here, I would ask for the first person in line that is sitting to get their scooter. So she gets their scooter. You'll notice that it's wheels up. When they get their first present, it unlocks a second scooter for the team. She's going to demonstrate our safety rules for the scooter. So you would sit on the scooter. You would be careful about your fingers. You'd make sure your fingers are not on the handles, but they're tucked inside the handles. Because if she falls off to the side, their fingers would be pinched against the floor, or they would be pinched against someone else's scooter. To move quickly on our floor, it's almost easier to go backwards. But you have to always, for safety, be looking over your shoulder to see where you're going. So she starts going, trying to get to the store. Right, so she makes it past the Grinch, and the Grinches are following her. She makes it into the Whoville store. So once she's in the Whoville store, she can get off her scooter, and she can choose either a present or a Hanukkah candle. Then she gets back on her scooter, and she goes backwards, back across, watching out for those Grinches. So now if they get her, they get to steal her present. She made it, so she's going to put it into her hula hoop, which is her tree. So she puts it in the purple hula hoop, which is her tree. And now that unlocked another scooter. So the next person goes on that scooter, and she comes to the closet, and she will get her second scooter. And if they get tagged, they have to get off their scooter and carry their scooter back to the next person in line. If they make it and get into the store, they get to go shopping, and then they get back on their scooter. All right, who could tell me what changed the Grinch? Yes. Yes. So what do you think that by you being kind to others, that that kindness could change them? So we could be kind and maybe just change their day, or you could maybe be kind to someone and change their life, right? So it's nice to always be kind to others. So have a kind and wonderful day. We used 3 scooters and a mat to build our sled. And then the students sled in their lane across the gym over here and stop at the red line and the stop sign. And then as far back as this area, They are trying to build this snowman. The team that can have all of his parts the fastest wins. So the students are going to demonstrate for you how to build a sled. They turn over their scooters. So their scooters are wheels down and the scooters are touching. And then one person's on one end of the mat and the other person's on the other, and they lift and center the mat on their sled. Then they have to stay in their lane. When the music starts, and we love for the littles to have the song, I'm going to build a snowman, they choose one snowman part from the bleachers behind them. Sometimes they have to rebuild their sled. Go ahead and, get your sled ready though. So we always give them time to rebuild their sled if they're having sledding issues. So one partner sits on the mat with the snowman part, and they can only take one part each trip, and their feet have to be up and they have to be on their bottom. They can't be on their knees for safety. And then when the music starts, one partner pushes them, ready, go, and they stay in their lane. They stop at the stop sign. They do not cross the red line, and they place their snowman parts against the black line. Then the other partner gets a ride back. So it's up to the other partner waiting in line to choose another snowman part and to make sure that they're building the snowman with the right parts to match the picture to win the game. So then they keep going. The race is who builds their snowman first. And they stop at the stop sign. Good job. And then they give their partner a turn back. In kindergarten, sometimes you have a student that's bigger than other students, and if you have a little girl trying to push that student, it's difficult. So we tell them that two friends can push. So it would look something like this. They would push, and stop at the stop sign. Don't run her into your snowman. Remember to follow the directions. It's like riding your bike. And then only one gets to ride back.
We also project a menorah and talk about some people celebrate Hanukkah, and you can have supplies in the store and have them all make a menorah as well. We talk about how our menorah doesn't have quite as many candles, and how many candles does a menorah have?
For a full year of lesson plans and games like this, get lesson plans for elementary PE on Amazon now.